Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Rastafari, the lion's voice.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it takes the dose. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the lion's voice.
I was blessed to learn those things as a skill, it's a real skill. I learned them early, and language was the key to that. And humility as well, language and humility. One, see you putting effort to reach them on their level, being humble, coming in, bringing, when you reach a gates, bring some small bag of food, say, oh, there's a bag of rice for the family, just certain things like that. It opens doors, and those things have taken I all throughout the repatriation mission. Learned in those very early hours that those things alone can open up doors, and so for I and I now in this digital age, we shouldn't forget that, we shouldn't forget the importance of human to human contact, and not just sending a text, and not just sending go to their family, meet their mother and father, and bring them some small food, and you know what I mean. Like, these things will carry you a long way. Right?
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabe is giving birth in a place called Erjersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tabara, meaning one to be feared or respected. Lichtafara's father, Ras Makunin, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras Makunin is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras Makunin knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Lichtafara would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting, and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwasi Bonsu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
For the people who are not familiar, because some people, you hear Africa, they're not thinking about white sand beaches like Negril.
Yes, sir.
And turquoise water
Yes, sir.
and them vibrations. So describe for people when you talk about Dar es Salaam, when you talk about Mombasa,
Yes,
what
sir.
these places look like.
Yeah, I said it already. White sand beaches. Let's not forget Zanzibar,
Yes,
um, one of the major trading capitals going back to ancient times, where ones from the Far East used to come and trade with, Africans, and also too a precursor to the West African, enslavement of I people. The first, began in the East, and particularly Zanzibar was one of the major centers, and you'll see a lot of what they call the Swahili culture. Swahili language, we know, is a major language throughout East Africa, but the Swahili are people. The Swahili are traders. They're coastal people. They they're known for sailing up and down between the Indian Ocean, between the Saudi Arabian Peninsula up to Ethiopia and them regions there. And so Swahili is a very simple. It's a trade. Swahili developed as a trading language. Um, yeah, it comes from the oh gosh, there's a family of languages I'm blanking on right now, but
is
so
it Afro-Asiatic?
yeah, Asia, but it's gonna come to me in a moment. The word that they call it's the largest Bantu. That's it.
Yes, but
Bantu languages. It's the largest family of languages throughout Africa,
yes.
down into South Africa, some parts of Central Africa. Um, the Bantu family of languages is what's spoken. Swahili is a derivative of the Bantu. Um, and so it's a very simple language. It's a language developed for people to trade. And again, I was exposed to knowing that being able to reason small open up doors. One's know you're not native, but to see you trying, to see you learning, it goes a long way, And so I should remember that in this repatriation mission as well. That
Humility. It takes humility.
yes, and to see that you are serious. I carried around a notebook with me. And ones would say things, and I would write it down, and it opened doors. Ones would be like, "Yo, come stay at the gates." I, you know, and so I learned a lot about repatriation in them early hours about how to connect in places where you're traveling to a new town, you don't know anyone, and how do you build some friends and colleagues and ones you can trust? How do you, when there's places where there's no guest house, where there's no hotel, you know how did I find a place to even rest? I was blessed to learn those things as a skill. It's a real skill. I
Serious.
learned them early, and language was the key to that, and humility as well. Language and humility. One see you putting effort to reach them on their level, being humble, coming in, bringing when you reach a gates, bring some small bag of food. Say, oh, there's a bag of rice for the family. Just certain things like that. It opens doors, and those things have taken I all throughout the repatriation mission. Learned in those very early hours that those things alone can open up doors, And so for I and I now in this digital age, we shouldn't forget that, We shouldn't forget the importance of, human to human contact, and not just sending a text, and not just sending a go to their family, meet their mother and father, and bring them some small food, and you know what I mean. Like these things will carry you a long way.
That's huge in Africa when you visit, carrying some type of offering,
Yes,
it's a huge part of the African culture,
yes,
particularly when you're dealing with the royal families.
yes,
And we're gonna touch on that as well. Did I get a chance to sight up any wildlife in those early trads?
oh yes, yes. I mean, Kenya and Tanzania are the place that people flock to for safaris, and Kenya, and yeah, Kenya especially. Well, Kenya and Tanzania, the wildlife was amazing. Couple years forward, so I always carried a camera with I from high school.
Yes, we're gonna get into the
Photography.
filmmaker
Yeah,
side.
we'll get into that, right? I got introduced to photography in high school. where it was still taking pictures with film. You had to go into the dark room and develop your negatives and all that, not the digital thing, where you had a roll of 24, and that's it. You know, we have to put it in perspective now. You know, and film was expensive.
Yes, this is ancient history you're telling the people about now. You know, dark room. I'm even thinking about that because I remember in every high school had the dark room. You know what I mean? You don't hear nothing like that again.
But even more so the fact that, you know, so I tried in Africa. I got a little camera with I got a number of rolls of film, but each one of them rolls only carried 24 photos I can take. Or sometimes they'll have one with 36. And I might have tried it with maybe maybe 15 or so. It was somewhere in that range of rolls of film for a year, 2 years. That means I got to be very selective about each item I take. So back to the wildlife. Some years forward, I was sending some things forward to Ghana, going through my archives and things like that, and I found this container that had all my itrates and negatives from way back. And I was looking at an itrate, and it was of what they call the great white rhino.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, I happened to stumble on these two rhino at a moment where they were mating.
Okay.
Quick, pull out the camera, snap it up. And then I went and I started thinking about it, you know, and I was like, you know, this was 1998. Now, you know, we're in this Iowa and we're having a lot of, you know, loss of wildlife worldwide. So I don't know what it went made. I went and just checked the thing online, come to find out. And I remember, you know, at the time, this might have been like 2022, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It said that the last great white rhino was deceased like maybe 2 years ago. So it's a particular species that now is extinct.
Yeah.
This is culture sound, a Rastaman sound, positive sound.
Culture sound system with DJ Culture Fire teaching.
And now you're in tune to the culture sound, Rasta sound.
Culture sound because of DJ Culture Fire teaching.
I and I help coming from the true living eyes, Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, who created Zion and earth. He shall not suffer and I foot to be moved. I hold, he that keepeth Ethiopia shall neither slumber nor sleep. Well, youths in the streets right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The youths them rise against brutality, man a kill another man for your salary. Them train them at the shooting gallery, black and loot, you might lose all your family. Them defend white supremacy, so them see the African as them enemy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say culture sound
like this for centuries, them sick mentally. That's why we have you out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Them said them tired of the looting, I and I tired of them shooting. Ku Klux Klan they recruiting, then them dress up in a blue suit and they're brutalizing the youths then. No court, they just execute them till the people start learn the truth. And the black youth go strap on them Gideon boot and them out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down.
Now
When the
this is
leaders
the
of the world
original
are feeling their
Bonsu
responsibility to
sound.
lead the youth them to a brighter future. Well, I and I hear the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, Earth's rightful ruler. Not just the free Rastafari crowd, unconquerable. We come to tell them now Babylon they're falling down.
Alright, in a culture
culture sound, you owe me $1 million, but give
We
it
come
out.
to tell them out. We Rastafari crowd. Come to me. We come to tell them about Babylon. They're falling down. Rastafari. Uncle you. We come to tell them out. Holy Palace intrigue. Infighting between Solomon seed. Well, Empress tied to want her family to lead. Well, King Michael was
representing for culture sound.
now watch the orphan married to a niece who get up every day and I study and I read.